welcome back to Frocks. In this series I take vintage and pre-loved clothing and give it a makeover. Today I'm going to be making it over this beautiful second-hand deep plummy purple velvet suit which I found in an op shop recently for $30. It is a little bit too short for me on the arms and the legs, so the first thing I'm going to do is unpick the stitching here and let down the sleeves and the hems of the trousers as much as I can. I've been umming and ahhing about what to do to this suit. I've had a few different ideas. I've been pinning things on and off and trying to decide what to do. Originally I was going to add lots of flower patches to it and make it really bright, but I've decided what I want to do is add lots of silver studs to it and lots of crystals. So I'm going to do the studs on the shoulders fading down, and then I may do them on the cuffs and on the bottom of the trousers as well, but I'm going to start with the shoulders and see how it looks. The first thing I'm going to do is unpick the hem at the bottom of the trousers and the cuffs so I can let them down and make them as long as possible. The trousers are machine stitched and the cuffs of the jacket are just hand sewn. There's the trouser leg down, and you can see I've got, that's where the original turn is there. I've got quite a bit that I can let it down by. I'm just going to turn up the bit that's overlocked and just machine stitch it back into place. That's giving me at least an extra, probably just over an inch there. The cuffs of the jacket are just hand stitched into place. And machine stitched into a mitered corner. This suit looks to me like it's been homemade, and it's not lined, which is going to make it easy for putting the studs through and to decorate it. Velvet does mark quite easily, unfortunately, so whether that mark comes out with a bit of seam or pressing will probably dictate about whether I do end up putting decoration around the cuffs or in the bottom of the trousers. I've let down the legs and the cuffs as much as I can and hand stitched everything back into place. There are some marks on the velvet from where I've unpicked and from the original folds as well, which is to be expected because velvet does mark really easily. To decorate the jacket, I've got some big studs, some small silver studs. I've got black, amethyst and a dark silver crystal. Each colour I've got in 3 different sizes. And to put them on for the studs, I'm going to use an awl to make a hole, and then I've got a screwdriver to screw the backs on. And for the crystals I'm going to be using E6000 glue because it's really strong. It's very toxic though. If you're going to use this glue you need to either use a proper respirator or do it outside. So I'm going to show you really briefly on video how I put the crystals on, and then I'm going to take it outside in the fresh air, put a mask and some goggles on and sit out there and do the rest of the crystalling. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn the jacket inside out. There are some shoulder pads in here. I'm just going to unpick them at one side and move them out the way. Now that's out the way, I can get to the inside seam to put the studs through. I'm going to start with the big studs. I've got 10 of them all together, so I'm going to put 5 across each shoulder seam. And I'm going to do them just to one side of the shoulder, just towards the front. I'm putting my awl through. If I go right through the actual shoulder seam, I might bust the stitching and then the shoulder seam will come unstitched. So I'm going just to one side of it. So I'll do that, make the hole with my awl, put the back of the stud through, and then screw the front on. And use a screwdriver to tighten it up. Now I'm going to put the other 4 alongside it, measure equal distance out from there so they sit nice and evenly on the shoulder, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I've got the studs on both shoulders. Next I'm going to put this onto a mannequin and mark with some chalk where I want the rest of the smaller studs to go. I've put the jacket on the mannequin and I've marked where I want the little spikes to go. I couldn't get the chalk to make a good enough mark on the velvet, so I ended up just using a metallic marker pen that I found, so I've got little blue dots now which I can use to put the small studs through. I'm going to use exactly the same method as I used for the big studs. Take my awl, so this time I'm going to go from the front so I can see where my dots are. Make the hole, push the back through the hole and screw the spike on. Tightening it with the screwdriver as I go. Want to get them extra firm, you can wear a pair of latex gloves to hold the spike side, and that gets it really tight onto that screw. So I'm going to go ahead and do these little spikes on all of my blue dots, and then I'll put it back on the mannequin and decide if I want to do any coming down the sleeves as well. I've got all the studs on the shoulders. I ended up putting it back on the mannequin and decided that I just wanted a few coming down onto the sleeves as well. I'm really happy with how these are looking. I love the big spikes just on the shoulders and then the smaller spikes around it, and I've done them so they kind of fade out a little bit down to the back, down the front and down the sleeve. Next I'm going to add crystals between all the spikes on the shoulders. I've got crystals in black, dark silver and amethyst, and I'm going to start by using 2 different sizes, and I'm just going to put them randomly between the studs to fill up the gap. I'm going to be sticking them on with the E6000, a toothpick and a pair of tweezers using my normal method. I'm not using my usual gemstone glue for this because it just didn't stick to the velvet enough, which is why I'm using the E6000 that's a lot stronger. I'm just going to show you really quickly on camera how I do it, then I'm going to go outside into the fresh air with a mask on and do the rest out there because the fumes from the E6000 are just toxic. I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit of the E6000 because it does dry pretty quickly, especially it will outside as well because it's pretty hot out there today. Then I'm going to take my toothpick and start putting it between the studs, and then I'm going to fill up the whole area. I want this to be really encrusted, so I'm not worried about putting it on in little blobs like I normally do because I want this to be completely covered in crystals. And I'm just going to randomly mix all these colours together to create some great coverage, and then I'll fade it. I'll sort of do it solid up to there and then I'll fade them out. This is the look I'm getting with the mixture of the crystal colours and the sizes between the spikes. I'm going to go outside and finish that off, and I will show you how it looks when it's all done. I hope you enjoyed watching this makeover as much as I enjoyed doing it. I love putting together whole looks and showing you how you can wear something after you've done a transformation, and I'm really enjoying doing some more makeup looks at the minute. I'm not a makeup artist, I'm just someone who absolutely loves makeup. I believe that makeup should be fun and you should really just enjoy being expressive with makeup. At the end of the day it all washes off and you can start again. So it's commitment free fun, I think, commitment free expression. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click the little bell so that you get notifications. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your support and I will be back soon.